Hey Escape Roomers, we are in Windsor Locks, Connecticut today, and this is going to be a brand new company called React Premium Escape Room, brought to you by the people from AdventurEscape.
Hey everybody, Brandon here. We are AdventurEscape and we are at React Premium Escape Rooms in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Hopefully you can hear me with this mask on, gotta take precautions. But more importantly, I'm here with Jack and Annie. How are you both?
Hey, great, Brandon. Thanks so much for coming.
We're excited to be back.
We're excited to be here. So we actually have been here before to play another game earlier on in our escape room career back in 2018, and we played their Sherlock Holmes game. But today we are here to play a different game, a very new game, which I believe has been revamped, but we'll talk about that in a few. Right now, I'm going to hit Jack and Annie with our 5 key questions so we can learn more about React. All right, so first question. If you have different answers, feel free to give your answer. The first question for you is, when did you open?
When did we open? We opened at the beginning of 2017. We started AdventurEscape, premium escape rooms. We had a focus on larger groups and team building. We did a lot of parties. And we opened with our first game, Raiders of the Lost Room, which was very well reviewed. And then our second game was the Sherlock Holmes game that you guys came and played. And when you were first starting out. So I think you've come quite a long ways since the last time you were here as well.
Just a little bit.
Just played a couple of games along the way. So we opened in 2017 at the beginning of the year, and now we are reopening at the beginning of 2020, brand new for the new year. Beginning of, I gotta do that again. Brand new 2021. Thank you.
All right, great. And so I believe that it was AdventurEscape, but now you have React. Tell me.
React Premium Escape Rooms, Room Escape Adventures of Connecticut.
Oh.
How will you react? 60 minutes, countless puzzles, endless opportunities and challenges. How are you going to react?
I love that.
You've never played a game like this before, Brandon.
Yeah, and I love that. I love the acronym. I love the creativity in the name. Definitely sums up what the escape room experience is about. And we hopefully are going to have the same reaction when we play. We haven't played yet, but we will. And you'll check out our website for our review on that game. Leading on to our second question. How many rooms do you have available and how many do you plan to have available overall in this space?
Sure. In March of 2020, when we closed, with the shutdown, we had 4 games playing, and we are one at a time completely revamping and redoing those games and reopening them under as a React game. And the first one we have open, we're going to be opening on January 1st, so a couple of days away. You guys are playing it as a preview, one of our first groups to play. We're very excited to welcome you back to play this one, and you've been after me because you guys wanted to come and play the Hangover when we opened it last year, and now we've reopened it as the Hungover Games. Completely new game, so even if you had played it before, it's completely different now, but it's for the React format. So it's a little bit more recreation driven. We've driven it more, it's more about the experience, and we really, when we created these games, tried to make them the most fun experiences possible. That's where we started, was, is this fun? Any challenge you had to do repetitively, we wanted to make sure that it was something you were enjoying doing. We tried to cut out all the parts that were tedious and just make it a great experience from start to finish. So that's React Rooms. We have 1 game to play right now, but we'll be opening new games every couple of months until we have 5 games to play out of this location.
Wow, 5 games.
A lot of fun themes coming up. We've got what do we have coming up in?
The Strangest Things.
The Strangest Things. So sort of an 80s nostalgia romp through the Upside Down. That'll be a fun one. We've got a sequel to the Sherlock Holmes game.
Ooh.
The Sherlock Holmes and the Haunted Mansion. So it's sort of a Clue meets Sherlock Holmes mystery.
Is this a prequel or sequel or any?
It's sort of a sequel. You know, we just really love the Sherlock Holmes theme. We want to separate it from the other Sherlock Holmes game we played. So it's not necessarily a sequel in that it plays any of the same elements or anything, but it is another Sherlock Holmes theme because it was our most popular theme. People are very comfortable with Sherlock Holmes, and and just the sort of that detective macabre setting really drives a lot of escape room creativity for us.
Yeah.
What else do we have coming?
Midnight at the Museum.
Midnight at the Museum. That'll be our next one to open in a couple of months. You're stuck in the Natural History Museum and the dinosaurs start to come to life and you need to sort of figure out the secret to the museum and escape. So that's a really fun one. And then we had one more coming up, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Still in the works, right?
Still in the works. So we'll have 5. We'll have 5 some really fun themes that are very accessible and for a lot of different groups of people.
Wow. I mean, if you ask Cece, they pretty much have most of the ideas that I've been like, oh, why are there not more rooms with this type of storyline? I mean, trapped in a museum trying to figure out your way out, and who knows what goes on when the lights go out or when darkness arrives. Thank you so much for that. Our next question for you. Normally we ask, are your games public or private? Please elaborate on your new situation and new guidelines that you guys have due to the COVID.
We had always run public games with a private option. We had big spaces that were really designed, all of our games, for large groups of people. So we encourage people to come and get together, and a lot of people really love that social aspect of escape rooms, and we loved being the ones to facilitate it. Unfortunately, with the current health situation, the way it is, we've had to go completely private. And that was part of the React Rooms difference, is that all games are private. So unfortunately, our games are no longer really designed to promote that social aspect of the escape room games. Instead, we're focused on giving one group of people a great experience at a time. Right now, our whole facility is completely private. So anybody who comes in, you're the only ones here, and we greet you virtually through our monitors. You never actually will encounter another human being unless something goes wrong while you're here. You won't even meet our game master. You'll talk to him through the monitor. So it's a completely private experience at this point.
Oh, okay. Our next question for you is, where do you get your creativity from? Like, what is your inspiration when you come up with a storyline and then puzzles and set design and all that? Like, how does that all work?
Great question. That's a great question. This is my answer right here. This is my creativity. My wife is the creative engine.
Okay.
That drives this business. I've tried doing it on my own. We've had 3 children in the past 5 years. So there have been times where she's been focused on other things, and I've tried to build and design and finish these games on my own. And the product has always been very inferior to the one that she really helps and spurs the creativity behind. So I would point right over here. But I think a lot of our ideas come from books and movies. It's our favorite characters. Mm-hmm. The worlds that we want to be in are the ones that we try and create.
All right. Well, I think there's a lot of inspiration out there, but there is a lot of material that you can get from movies and books, and I think that taking that and making it your own and providing an experience for other people to live in or to experience, I think is always great, and I think that's what escape rooms are. Our 5th question is just to get to know Jack and Annie a little bit better, maybe something most people wouldn't know about you, maybe a hobby, a hidden talent, something outside of escape rooms.
That's a good one.
Stephanie is a world-class gymnast.
No.
Not
world-class? No.
No? Oh,
I was a gymnast in high school, though.
What was your specialty? Was it
I would say, gosh, I love doing floor.
Okay.
My favorite event.
Jack, same for you?
One thing about this room that you're about to play is that aside from, I think, 2 pieces of furniture, I built everything myself. So I'm a bit of a carpenter.
Okay.
Now, I wasn't when I started doing this. As a matter of fact, I remember the year that I started this, my father-in-law asked me for for an angle, I think at home, for a square, for a carpenter square. And I had no idea what he was talking about. Now I use it for everything I do. So I've become a bit of a carpenter through the process.
Well, either you're learning hands-on or thanks to YouTube on tutorials on how to do stuff.
A lot of both.
All right, and the game that we're playing is the Hungover Games.
Hungover Games is sort of like the Hunger Games meets the Hangover is kind of where we were trying to go.
Fun fact, I was doing some research and I actually found out there is a movie called The Hungover Games, which is a parody spoof on, I believe, both, fusing everything together.
I remember seeing the title for that movie as I went through the thing. I didn't watch it, but I remember seeing that was out there. I think it's a fun mashup.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a scary movie for scary movies, basically.
Yeah. So the angle we took on it was that you need to play through a cutthroat drinking game competition. Is kind of what happens. You get roped. Your friend got roped into this drinking game competition with some characters who took losing very seriously. So they said if you don't win, you're last. And now we need to go find Dave, and we need to recover our friend. So we've got to go play through the same drinking game championship that he unfortunately did not win, and hopefully our outcome's going to be a little better.
All right, hopefully Dave can count on us for today, but we'll see because we had a long night. But regardless, the next question we have is an extra question. It's a bonus question because we know that Jack and Annie are enthusiasts. They love to play games. Can you give us one that was memorable for you? Preferably not the same one and not one at your location.
That's a good question.
I'd say my most memorable is the very first one that we did, and that kind of sparked what we wanted.
That was at AdventurEscape in Middletown, Connecticut. I think they were the first escape room to open in Connecticut in about 2015. We played their first game, the Swiss Original, and just a very bones, no themed room. It was just it's an escape room game. It's a series of puzzles that you play through and you get into the next room and the next room. And I think it was timed, we played it an hour and 10 or an hour and 15. It was longer than a 60-minute game, which was now is almost unheard of. Mm-hmm. And we had a blast. And we walked out saying, we want more. I think we were talking for weeks about, we could do this with it. We could just, the possibilities seemed endless. And seeing so many different creators out there taking so many liberties and following these tangents and just doing so much in the industry right now. The distribution of all of it, there's just so many different facets. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be a part of.
We've actually played that game as well, and I can vouch. Adventure Rooms does some really cool games, so you should go check them out. We actually played the one at the Adventure Rooms in New Jersey. I think we played all 3 of their games. Try to make it an all-day thing whenever we go to these escape room companies. But thank you so much for answering our 5 key questions, so we can learn more about you, so our viewers can learn more about you, and make it over here to React Premium Escape Rooms in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.
InvAsian. Let's go. Locked in, 60 minutes to escape. Think before you move, there's no room for mistakes. If you got what it takes, stop, watch, and listen. Cause the clock is ticking and the plot is sticking. No matter what.